UNLV, at Colorado, and at Arizona tonight at BYU. Russell, Saldivar, Rogers, Burnick, and Jacobson, the starting five for Jack Murphy in his first season, 33 years old. What a great opportunity to get a head job and go to work as he leads Northern Arizona. They're already closing in on the win total they had all of last season, and they'll look for a big night tonight. The starting lineups for BYU: Matt Carlino, Tyler Haas, Brock Zelstra, who scored 23 points, made 5 of 6 3-pointers last year in Prescott Valley in this matchup. He's in the starting lineup again, along with Josh Sharp and Brandon Davies. Dave Rose looking for career win number 194. His Cougars are 8-4 on the year, 6-0 here at the Marriott Center. Tonight's game preparation is presented by Emergency Essentials, helping families get prepared for all your food and water storage needs.
Long time between games.
And the Lumberjacks control the tip. They're 1-1 in Big Sky, 4-7 on the year, 2-5 away from Flagstaff. And they will try to make the Big Sky tournament. The first-year goal for Jack Murphy and his staff. A missed 3. Davies with a rebound. And a turnover as Carlino throws it away.
And this NAU team, Dwayne Russell, the point guard, leads this team in scoring. Just a freshman out of Peoria, Arizona, 16.4 points per game. And he's not afraid to shoot.
Also leads the Big Sky. What a weapon to have.
Well, and he's just a freshman. And you think about the schedule this NAU team has played already. So he has scored against very good competition.
Cougars open up in a makeshift zone. There's the 3-ball from Russell. Sharp on the rebound. Haas had a cold shooting night at Baylor. Davies led the way with 26. He gets the first 2 tonight. 75th start for Brandon Davies. And after really a slow start, Haas with a near steal. Taken out of bounds by Saldivar. It'll be BYU ball. But after a slow start for Brandon Davies, boy, has he turned it on.
And he is a mismatch. He's just so strong down low. If you put a small, quick player on him, he'll overpower that player. And then he's got such great quickness. The combination of quickness and strength is almost unstoppable. You put a big guy on him, he goes right by him.
Sharp nearly turns it over. The key early on is to get it to Davies. Let him go to work. He draws a double team, passes out of it. Carlino off balance and way off target. Russell. This is Saldivar. We welcome Saldivar back home to Utah at Judge Memorial High School in Salt Lake City. Team practiced there yesterday. Had a chance to tell some stories about when he was a big shot on campus. And a chance to play in front of family and friends here tonight in Provo.
He's a 2-time All-State player in 3A and in the state of Utah. Great player here in the state of Utah. And he's been so efficient with the basketball. One of the all-time assist guys in NAU history.
Saldivar is number 5 all-time for the Lumberjacks, and he's number 17 all-time in the Big Sky. They've had some guards come through there over the years.
And Judge has such a good baseball program, and he was a 4-year star out on the diamond, as well as being a great basketball player. Judge.
This is Saldivar with the ball. NAU ran into a buzzsaw. Routed by Colorado their last time out. The Buffalo shot 62% from the field for the game, and they just couldn't keep up. Saldivar to beat the shot clock off the front end. Too much patience on that trip down the floor. Davies into the lane, off the glass. Davies with 4.
And Max Jacobson needed to close out on his feet on that shot. Brandon Davies a lot less likely to shoot that 3 than to take it right by him.
Well, as Montana and Weber State learned, and this is the 3rd Big Sky opponent for BYU, there just isn't a player like Brandon Davies in that league. And the 3-ball gives the Lumberjacks a 2-point lead. You know, they feel they can match up with the other Cougars, but Davies in the league on his own, and Haas Haas with his first bucket.
A great nonverbal communication between Haas and Sharp on that play.
This is Rogers working past Zylstra. Jacobson throws it away. Lost his footing. Had to get rid of it. Haas can't corral the lead pass, and BYU turns it back. Brady Industries has been a provider of commercial cleaning supplies and equipment throughout the western United States for over 65 years. Brady Industries, clean solutions on tradition for generations. Dave McCann, Blaine Fowler, Robbie Bolo. Last Thursday of the year. And we're happy to have you with us wherever you're looking in from around the world here on BYU TV. I'll give a special shout out to all the Cougar fans in the Arizona area that came out and saw us last year in Prescott Valley. Now watching us tonight. Sharp got a good look from Carlino.
And Carlino breaking the defense down. When you get the defensive rotation, somebody's going to be open. He's been really good at that this year. Carlino breaking defenses down. He's been much more assist-minded this season than last.
Rogers held up by Zylstra, and Brock picks up his first. We go to our first timeout. 15:39 to go here in the half. Josh Sharp laying it in. The Cougars by 2 on BYU TV.
Got to consistently shoot the basketball and get production from a number of guys. They're still looking for the right combinations in that third scorer.
Rogers off the front end.
And NAU now 6 shot attempts, all threes. They have not attempted a 2-point shot yet in this ball game.
Ephraim Econom is into the game for NAU. Haas gets the friendly bounce. BYU with their largest lead. Haas has 4. Davies with 4 and Sharp with 2.
And BYU mixing up their defense, as we've seen, you know, a combination of zone and man.
Zylstra with the defensive play out to Carlino for 2.
Well, and for NAU last year, turnovers were a big issue in the BYU game, and this is something they felt like they needed to address and take care of, was take care of the basketball in this ball game. And so far, it has been a struggle to take care of the ball. And this is just that's an unforced error that time.
8-0 BYU run.
The turnovers for NAU have resulted in runouts for BYU, easy buckets on the other end.
Mentioned the shot attempts by NAU three-pointers. The Cougars are 6 of 8 from the field, yet to attempt a three-point.
Well, they're just getting easy layups in transition on the other end.
Michael Dunn into the game. Good tip up and back in from Jacobson. Jacobson, a junior out of Lake Oswego, Oregon. Davies to answer with a high-arching shot. He's got 6. Dunn had 6 last year against BYU there in Arizona, and he gets his first 2 tonight. Davies again. This time short, but Haas on the rebound. Carlino passes on the 3, opts for 2. Saldivar pulls it down for the Lumberjacks. NAU out of sorts. Deep in the corner for Dunn.
And you can tell NAU's come with the mindset that they're feeling like they've got to knock down some three-pointers to stay in this, and it's been all three-pointers so far.
Here's Carlino, BYU's first 3. Dies on the front end. Back and forth we go. Rogers into the lane, gets contact and the foul, and a chance at a 3-point play. Gabe Rogers out of Houston, Texas. He's hit 185 career threes. That's 4th best at NAU, up over 1,000 career points.
And a good cut this time, moving without the basketball, always results in good things. Gabe Rogers hustling, cutting hard to the basket. Both Rogers and Russell are outstanding free throw shooters. And Russell averages 16.4 a game. Rogers 15.1. Both shoot 86% from the free throw line.
Carlino's out. Anson Winder, sophomore out of Las Vegas, in for BYU. And we saw Russell re-enter the game for Saldivar, who takes a seat for NAU. Anson Winder still looking to find his way. Also looking for some significant minutes. As Davies Hawes for three from the right side, and it goes right down. 7 for Hawes. That snaps a 5-0 Lumberjack run. BYU's edge is 4. Hawes on the steal, and then the reach, and the foul on Jordan Martin, who checks in for the Lumberjacks, picks up his first. And with that, Craig Cusick is up off the Cougar bench, and Brock Zylstra will come out.
A perfect example of weak side help defense, that the backside wing or guard has to get down in the paint. Hawes did a nice job. Good rotations that time for BYU.
Winder now over to Cusick. Let's see who runs the point here. Will it be Anson or Cusick? Hawes kind of matchup he likes. Draws some contact, no call. Misses off the glass. Rogers nowhere to go over Davies. Out of bounds. Last touched by Martin, freshman out of Las Vegas, and it'll be BYU ball. A couple of Las Vegans on the floor now with Martin and Winder. You can never have enough.
How many years did you live down in Vegas?
20.
So I know those Vegas kids are near and dear to your heart.
Jack Murphy, a trainer at UNLV in the early stages of his career, and his assistant, Al LaRock, longtime high school basketball coach in the Las Vegas area at Durango. And we got a lot of Southern Nevada here in the house tonight. Hawes calling for the ball, but it's Davies, top of the key. Rebound by Martin.
And that time Jacobson closed, under control, and that's the shot you want Davies to have, not the one driving down the lane. So well defended that time by Max Jacobson.
Russell backs it out, looks over at his coach, and the Lumberjacks will set the play. In some trouble, Davies steals it away and slams it down.
And you see the skill set of the big guy Brandon Davies. At his size, to be able to put the ball on the floor at 6'9" and finish on a fast break. That's impressive.
Well, he and Zylstra are tied for the team lead with 18 steals. Davies leads in rebounds and blocks and points. And a timeout now. 11, just over 11 minutes ago, 11:21 to be exact. Davies with the steal. Leading Northern Arizona 19-13. Anson Winder seeing his first taste of some full court pressure. And he is bumped by Saldivar. Saldivar picks up his first personal.
For Saldivar, this is his 69th career start. So a number of veterans on this team. And when you're a senior, you know, a whole new program, new system. But they needed it. They definitely needed a new system. And Jack Murphy, as you mentioned, they're already doing better this year. Almost at the win total they had all of last year. And BYU now with their largest lead in the game at 21-13.
Davies with 10. Still no answer defensively for the Lumberjacks. Saldivar on the miss. Hawes draws contact and throws it up. He'll go to the line. Will he shoot 2 or 3 is the question. And he'll shoot 2.
You see that
right on the line.
And then he stepped inside with a left foot to draw the foul.
First foul on Dunn.
And Tyler Hawes, one of the premier free throw shooters in the country. He's now 58 out of 61 this season. 95% plus.
He shot enough to be the all-time leader in free throw percentage at BYU for his young career. And a 9 for Hawes. Sharp is out. Nate Austin in for the first time tonight. It's a 9-0 BYU run. Cougars up by 10. Winder harassing Russell. Bumps him. And picks up his first.
And Dwayne Russell handles the basketball, the leading scorer. He's number 9 in the country for freshmen. And scoring at 16.4. He's a little guy. They list him at 5'11" and 155 pounds.
Nice move down low by Jacobson. Couldn't finish. Cusick picked up by Saldivar. They go right to Davies. He draws a double team. Moves right around it and scores again. Davies with a dozen. scratch your head as a head coach and go, you know, I don't have anybody to stop that.
Well, and the help was coming on the top side, and you can't let him go baseline if you're the double teamer down there on him. You got to cut that off, knowing that the help's coming.
Lob for Austin. He's fouled going up. He'll shoot 2, and Saldivar picks up his second. That's a pass by Davies, spotting the mismatch.
I see a really nice seal by Nate Austin. And it's hard to help when you feed the post from up on top of the key. There's not really a weak side or a strong side. It's just straight from the top. It's hard to know who is supposed to rotate over and help.
Free throw's good. Ekanham is back in along with Rogers. And Jacobson and Dunn come out. Under the 10-minute mark, BYU has doubled up the Lumberjacks. We'll turn things up a notch a week from tonight. Max Good and the LMU Lions come in to tip off conference play. And as we learned last year, you can't take any nights off in the WCC. The Lions came in here and beat BYU.
And Royal Marymount, always an athletic team. I know that Max will bring in a group that can get up and down the floor and will be athletic.
LMU needed overtime to beat Northern Arizona by 6 back on December 5th. They had a large lead, and NAU cut it back. Davies with the block and the rebound. So we'll see what LMU has to offer next week on BYU TV, Thursday night, 9 Eastern. Austin falling away. Hawes. Now it's Winder for 3. And Ekanham on the rebound.
And for Winder, he hasn't had a lot of opportunity to play coming off that ankle injury. He's 0 for 5 now from that three-point line. I think Dave Rose would like to see him, be a defensive stopper and a guy that can get increasing minutes and maybe be, a complementary scorer on the outside.
Ekanham down low, draws the double team. Kept alive by Bjornick. Out for 3 is Rogers. Cold shooting continues for the out-of-towners. Hawes for 3. And a hot shooting from the home team. A 16-0 BYU run. And shades of what happened to the Cougars Friday night in Baylor. The Bears finished the half on a 22-2 run. And they put that game away. Forced up shot by Russell. Winder on the rebound and on the run. Cusick looks for a lane, and he's fouled. Now some frustration from NAU. And the foul is up on Dwayne Russell. That's his first.
And BYU is a team, especially in this building, when they get a team down, they really like to push the basketball and increase the pace and keep coming at you and attack. And we've seen that in this last couple of minutes. And NAU really on their heels defensively now. Martin
and Dunn back in for the Lumberjacks. Davies into the lane again. Off the glass. Wanted the foul. No call, but he's got 14.
And Ekanham just not quick enough. He's 6'7" and 230, just not quick enough to stay in front of Davies.
Another turnover as Rogers loses it in front of the BYU bench when we go to a break. And Tyler Hawes from downtown sparking an 18-0 BYU run. It's 32-13 Cougars on BYU TV.
Shooting the basketball. They've had some good shots. They're 26% from the field, 5 of 19.
Hawes throws it away. Lumberjacks come running. Saldivar playing with those 2 fouls. He'll have to be careful. Hands it to Dunn, gets it back. Rogers. Cougars have not allowed for many uncontested shots. Saldivar steps inside Winder. Cusick on the rebound. Cusick now pops a 3. Ekanham on a rebound. Ekanham at 6'7". He's about the best size that NAU has to offer and counter Brandon Davies. But they are worlds apart as ball players. as we have seen. Foul on the shot. Rogers going to go to the line to shoot 2. And the foul will go against Craig Cusick. That'll be his first, as Augie Ambrosino is ready to check in, along with Russell and Buernick returning for the Lumberjacks.
Well, and for Jack Murphy, he has got to have Gabe Rogers start to hit at his normal pace from the three-point line. He's attempted, coming into this ball game, 102 threes. That's 49 more than any other guy on the team. so he's been shooting them up, and in the past he's been a career right around 40% guy. And this season he's just at 32%. He's shooting from the free throw line extremely well, 86%. But if they're going to have success in conference in the Big Sky, they're going to have 11. Gabe Rogers start knocking down some threes the way he normally does.
He's capable of scoring for sure at 27 at UC Davis earlier. And they'll need him, as you mentioned, to heat up here tonight. Ambrosino to Austin. Haas battling for the loose ball, keeps it alive. Austin saves it to Winder. Great hustle by the Cougars. Now Ambrosino for 3. And Econom this time not to be denied. Still looking for that third personality, aren't we, with BYU? Who's going to be the guy other than Davies and Haas? And there has not been one consistently. We thought maybe it'd be Carlino, and after a couple of good games, kind of settled back into the pack with everybody else.
There are going to be some nights, Dave, in conference play when a Gonzaga or St. Mary's or maybe even a Loyola has a good enough perimeter defender to shut Haas down a little bit. And somebody else is going to have to pick up the slack there. Now, I don't think there's many in the league that can stop Davies without double teaming him. But then again, when they do double team, somebody's got to be able to knock down shots. And, is that going to be Zylstra? Is it going to be Carlino? Is it Cusick? Is it Anson Winder, who's now healthy? Somebody has got to emerge.
Haas trying to answer the bucket by Russell, can't do it. 5.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Here's Russell again. Get to his zone. Ball slapped around, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Econom, and it'll be BYU ball. Max Jacobson back in. He's second to Big Sky, shooting 62% from the field. And with Jacobson in, Davies returns, Austin goes out, Zylstra comes back, and Haas will take a seat. Let's keep an eye on Davies. He's got 14 points. He needs 6 more to catch Dick Nomelka and enter the top 20 all-time scoring in BYU history. Carlino with the left hand. Can't finish. Saldivar on the rebound. Well, Russell passes on the 3. Buernick misses the short one. Cougars bring it out. Cusick from the corner for 3. Zylstra. Now it's Davies down on the baseline. Some contact, no whistle, knocked out of bounds off of Jacobson. It'll be BYU ball. Coming up at halftime, the Gold Gym Express halftime report. We'll go back to our holiday episode of True Blue. Blaine hands out his annual Christmas Blainies. It's worth seeing again. Stats and highlights as well. That's coming up at the half. Ambrosino with his first bucket. You were very festive in your presentation.
Well, and they had a Santa hat on me. And what do you call that thing that you always tell me I look like George Washington? What is that thing?
It does look like George Washington. it's you'll see it at halftime.
Yeah,
it's hard to even explain. Davies has it stolen away. Twice they've gone to Davies. And NAU's turned him back. Cusick kicks it around and pulls it out. 3-on-1. Zylstra fouled. He'll go to the line. Zylstra will shoot 2 after the timeout. Fouls on Buernick, his first. It's 34-19 Cougars on BYU TV.
sacks for the football team, and we might see him on the basketball court at some point this season, guys.
Well, he's described us as a brick wall in practice by those who banged into him.
I talked to Bronson just before the game and said, how is it out there? Are you knocking these guys around? He goes, yeah, but they run like the wind. and I said, you'll get there. You know, the basketball shape is a lot different than football shape. You don't have, 10 seconds of action and go back to the huddle. You run up and down the floor, and so it is a whole different kind of conditioning.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if he can pull it off. Not many have.
It's great for Brandon Davies because Bronson Kafusi is a big, strong, physical 260-pounder that can beat on him a little bit in practice and get him used to having to play against physical defenders.
Carlino to Davies. Brandon was 16.
How many times do we see that? Brandon Davies releasing. He just runs the floor so well. And the thing that makes him special is the combination of being able to
in high school and will join the program next year, and he believes he's got a foundation that can get him there.
Well, and Dwayne Russell, a young scorer, a freshman playing that point guard, is a nice guy to build this thing around. And the goal this year really is just to get into the Big Sky tournament.
Yeah.
And if they can make it to the tournament, and then you go from there.
Delgado with the steal. Davies the finish. 18 now for Brandon. Two more to move ahead of the legendary Dick Nemelka in the 20th BYU in scoring.
Oh, yeah.
Another steal. Carlino takes it away from Jacobson. Saldivar grabs it right back. Jacobson lays it in.
Beautiful feed that time by Saldivar. And that's what he's done so well over the years for this NAU squad. Always has his head on a swivel and will find the open man.
Davies had 18 and a half up at Weber State. And that's the best he's come out of the gate with this season. He's 2 away from topping that. Augie Ambrosino with 3. He's got 5.
Ambrosino started out a little cold at the beginning of the year and just seems to be getting more and more confident with that three-point stroke. Just under 34% now. I bet by the end of the season he's up 40% from the three-point line.
Inside the defense, shot goes in and out for Rogers. Cougars come running again. Under 2 minutes to go here in the half. Zylstra for 3. Good box out kept Davies away. Here come the Lumberjacks. No foul call. Russell forces it up. It's out of bounds. It'll be NAU ball. More substitutions in for both sides. And Russell and Jacobson are out. Davies comes out. 9 of 11 from the field, 18 points for Brandon. Seems the challenge too, Blaine, we talk about it more in the second half, is there's so many guys for BYU to play that need minutes to get in their groove. You just can't get them all the minutes.
Well, and I don't know that Dave Rose really feels comfortable with where his rotation should be yet. And that's a tough thing this late.
Carlino, this is Delgado. Here's a guy from western Nebraska, big-time shooter, just not in the game enough to get shots and settle into this level of play. And here's Delgado from the corner for 3, and in it goes. 46 points already on the board for BYU. Saldivar loses his footing, and a turnover. Eakinham took it out of bounds with him. Winder ready to check in for the Cougars. And Carlino will come out.
Turnovers just killing NAU in this first half. 13 turnovers now, and those 13 turnovers have resulted in 12 points directly for BYU. They've been costly, and a lot of them have been easy buckets in transition on the other end.
Ambrosino for 3 from the corner. Zylstra high on the rebound. Buornik picks up the foul, and he looks at the official, says, hey, I was just standing here. He landed on me. but he picks up his second.
Let's take a look. Zylstra skies up this time. Yeah, you know, he's got a case to be made there. He's like, hey, I'm just standing here. He jumped up over on top of me. I don't blame him for complaining on that one.
Jordan Martin going to check in. And Buernick will come out. Russell going to come back in for the last few seconds of the half. We'll visit with Dave Rose in just a moment, get his take on things. Talking to Coach Rose, feed the low post. Want to feed the post. Boy, they have tonight. BYU has dominated in that area. Shot clock is off. Lumberjacks just struggling getting out of their own way.
Well, and that's turnover number 14 for this team, and that is their Achilles heel here in this first half. It is absolutely killing them, and they'd like to keep it to 12 or under for the game, and you've got 14 and a half. There's no way to stay close.
Zylstra driving baseline, up off the glass and in. And the half will come to a close. And it's all BYU, 48-23. Led by 18 from Davies. And Dave Rose is with Robbie. Robbie.
Coach,
and implore his guys to get back. You can't allow the biggest guy on the floor uncontested dunks at the other end because you didn't get back in time.
When you're in your offensive set and you're in the half court, there's always somebody that's rotated back up that's responsible to get back and defend, and you can't let Brandon Davies beat you down the court. He's tough enough in the half court. You also heard Jack Murphy talk about forcing Davies when he catches it. The job of the post player that's on him is to force him back to the double team in the middle and not allow him to go baseline. And we saw that happen a couple of times in the first half.
Sharp, Winder, Zylstra, Hawes, and Davies for BYU. And it is Buernick and Jacobson, Rogers, Russell, and Saldivar for NAU. Davies, 20 points. And with that, he moves ahead of Dick Nemelka. 20th all-time in scoring at BYU. We should note that Nemelka got his points in 3 seasons because back then in the 60s, freshmen couldn't play. And then to Davies' defense, his first few years playing, at Jimmer and Jackson Emery and Hartsock shooting all the baskets.
Yeah, there wasn't enough balls to go around back then.
2 very good players, and at the moment standing right next to each other in the record books at BYU. And tonight's second half scorebug sponsor is RC Willey. For 80 years helping furnish homes with furniture, major appliances, TVs, and flooring. RC Willey, your home, your way. We appreciate their support. Nice dribble, buying some time, just can't hit the shot. A foul on the rebound. It'll go against Davies.
We see Gabe Rogers missed that shot, and Jack Murphy mentioned that at halftime. There have been some good shots for this NAU team in that first half, and BYU's defended hard most of the half, and sometimes you get anxious when you finally get an open shot. You rush it a little bit, and NAU as a result just not shooting the ball well.
Zylstra up over Saldivar and knocks it in. Zylstra with 6. Jacobson now working with Sharp, left hand, and his short shots have just been off the mark. 6 rebounds now for Davies. Those are shots that are nearly automatic for Jacobson. Now Sharp with his own left hand, and he misses as well. So back and forth they go with lefts.
That was almost exactly the same move on the end for Sharp that it was down low the last time for Jacobson. They both missed short.
Winder defending against Russell. And a reach-in foul. Winder in the starting lineup. There was some confusion as to how the half began. Now Matt Carlino will come off the bench. Robbie's got a little more on that. Robbie, what happened?
Yeah, Matt Carlino had those tights on in the first half, which is an NCAA violation unless you have a medical waiver. So Matt Carlino did not start the second half because he had to take the tights off underneath of his shorts and didn't get out of the locker room in time. So you saw Anson Winder jump off the bench right away there at the start of the second half.
So Winder's out and Carlino minus the tights are back in. You see Davies with the tights. A lot of guys like to wear them because it keeps them warm. But again, you got to have a note, and then they've got to blend in with your uniform. And Russell wearing them for.
I could probably write him a note. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV once in a while.
You write a lot of notes. Here's Davies. Nobody back there, but he mishandles the entry pass. Now he's got everyone there and scores anyway.
That's just sheer determination right there. Davies muscles that thing up onto the glass to get the bucket and the opportunity to get the three-point play. I mean, he's frustrated at this point, and he just muscles this thing up. Pure strength by Brandon Davies.
Jacobson picks up the foul. The free throw is good. So Jordan Martin, the freshman, is in. And Jacobson's going to come out. 23 now for Davies.
You mentioned earlier there's just not anybody in the Big Sky that can cover Davies. There's not anybody in the West Coast Conference that can play him man-to-man and try to keep him down. If you single him up, he'll go for 20 or more on you.
He had 26. Baylor said, hey, go ahead and take all the shots. We're going to close out everybody else. And it led to a big win. That seems to be the blueprint for giving these Cougars trouble. Carlino all the way in.
Right now, Dwayne Russell's going, hey, where's the help, guys? You know, you get beat off the dribble from high. Somebody's got to step over and take the ball, and nobody did that time.
Well, this is a team that led Oregon late in Oregon early in the season. Then Oregon went to UNLV and beat UNLV. But they have digressed a bit against the major schools and hammered by Colorado, and they're getting a beat down tonight here in Provo. Haas for three from way outside. Haas with 15.
And that is just such a pure shot. Perfect rotation, just squared up.
Well, a good move by Russell, forces it up.
They should give him an assist on that one because it never got above the rim. The shot never got above the rim. Give him an assist.
Buornick with 4. Davies to Sharp. Blocked by Martin. And the Lumberjacks come out running. Contact, and Rogers going to go to the line and shoot 2 as Davies got over late and picks up his second personal.
And Rogers, a good job with the ball fake to the inside, and then the help from Davies just too late getting to the baseline to cut it off. And you talked about the schedule that Gabe Rogers and this NAU team has played. They played at Oregon, you mentioned that. They played at UNLV, number 18 at the time. At number 9 Arizona, lost 50-93. They're here in Provo at BYU. They played at Colorado, who's got a very good team this year. And this is a heavyweight schedule to begin the season. And it's a little risky. Jack Murphy said this isn't a schedule that he put together. This is one that he inherited. Probably a few too many money games in this first part of the season for NAU. They need to balance that out in future years.
Well, they should be able to balance their budget on the backs of those 5 games. Haas, spin move. Ambrosino over the back picks up the foul. But they're 1-1 in league play, and after tonight, they get to see eye to eye with their opponents in the Big Sky, and we'll see what they would do. They're picked to finish last. They joked that they were picked to finish 12th in an 11-team league. But we've got some talent here. Long 3-point shot right down for Saldivar. Carlino matched up with Russell, gets right past him, forces a shot wild with the left hand. A couple of good moments here for the Lumberjacks. 3-point ball, too strong by Russell. Rebound by Saldivar, and a fresh 35. Davies on the steal. 3-on-1. Carlino gives it right back. Back we go to Martin. Can't handle the pass. And the Lumberjacks turn it over. Sloppy play here in the second half. Timeout, 15-19 to go. And the Cougars are up 60-33 here on BYU TV.
Wow, this family's seen a lot of firsts. First bank in America, 17.
And the officials at the scorers table just checking on something. We're looking at the stats at the break right there. I look down at Tyler Haws and go, wow, he's just got this quiet 15 points right now. It's because he's 3 for 3 from the three-point line. He's 5 of 8 from the field and 2 for 2 from the line. It's typical Tyler Haws night. He'll get his 20 tonight. And just so smooth.
Man-to-man for NAU. Different look. See how the Cougars adjust. Davies draws a double, and Econom just takes it right away from him. They've let the Lumberjacks get a little more physical with Brandon down low in the second half.
I thought Econom did a great job that time of forcing Davies off the block before he caught the basketball. Played really physical before the pass came in.
Zylstra on the block. Carlino all the way in.
If you don't step in front of Carlino and stop the basketball, he will take it all the way to the front of the rim. Very determined when he's bringing the ball in the open court.
Boy, he lighted up against San Francisco at 30 on the road last year. See what he can do again in his return next weekend. Good defense, and Haws loses it out of bounds. Delgado in, Zylstra's out for the Cougars. And Dunn's back in for NAU, and Rogers will take a break. Virginia Tech Saturday. It's hard to figure out. The Hokies, they just got hammered by Colorado State on Sunday in Las Vegas. Went all the way home. Now they're coming all the way back out west. That's a tough road swing right there. How about that shot by Dunn? Michael Dunn, a senior out of Chandler, Arizona, gets his 4th point. Ambrosino answers with 3. Augie's got 8. His career high was 14 against Eastern New Mexico. And in the similarities between the two is significant minutes in both those games.
And it would be nice if they could get him to consistently knock those 3-point shots that can really stretch a defense. And what's nice about Ambrosino is he can defend the 4 and the 5. Solid rebounder. Then if he gives you some scoring and some 3-point shooting, he could be a real nice complimentary player coming off the bench for BYU.
Another nice shot by Dunn. Haws picks up his first foul, and Dunn with a shot at a 3-point play. He had 13 at Oregon in that spirited effort by the Lumberjacks on the road early on in the season.
And he's now dropping into a 2-1-2 zone.
Delgado, a bomb halfway down, and out it comes. Carlino, another steal. Blocked into the arms of Haws for 3. Davies on the follow. Where do you defend that?
Yeah, and Davies just gets so many buckets, transition runouts, running the floor, following up. He gets hustle plays.
Another steal by Haws. Davies behind him. 27 for Davies.
And a great unselfish play by Tyler Haws. He knew that the big guy was running the floor and wanted to reward. You reward your big guy when he runs the floor in a fast break, and Haws did just that.
BYU now just exercising their will on these Lumberjacks. 69-38. Dunn's 3rd straight bucket for NAU. Carlino around his back past Russell. Delgado open for 3. His second 3. And it's 72-40. We see these guys shoot these long ones, especially the ones that are way out there. It reminds us of what we saw with Jimmer. It was so much fun because he could shoot anywhere on his side of half court.
Yeah, he was open. If you left him open once he crossed midfield, he'd shoot it.
And he made a lot of
no conscious. No conscious.
Foul against NAU.
He shoot from the Marriott of Marriott Center. We saw him do that a few times.
He put on quite the show. New shooters in town. And they have given the Cougars a 32-point lead on BYU TV.
For more than 20 years.
Mixed bag there. But we do know that they'll be ready for the Cougars this time around. Delgado, another 3. That's his 3rd. He's got 9. Corey Calvert into the game for the first time tonight for BYU. freshman will run the point. Shot clock at 15. Rogers, air ball, and a turnover.
Delgado now with 9 points, all on threes. He's 3 for 3 on three-point shots. And wouldn't that be nice if he could be that consistent threat from out there? And he was that in junior college. Very solid three-point shooter in JC.
Davies back to Haas for 2. Some good passing by the Cougars. Getting everybody involved. Martin's really struggled having to deal with the long arms of Davies. This is Calvert swooping to the basket. He finishes. He'll go to the line and a chance at a three-point play. And lots of smiles now as everybody getting into the act.
A real nice finish that time. Good body control after the contact to get it up on the glass.
Davies is out. That might be the night for Brandon. 27 points, 13 of 16 from the field, and 10 rebounds. So a double-double for Davies. And you know, he's just done it again. Just what he does.
He got a lot of buckets in this game in transition.
Haas with the steal. Back to Austin. Austin got fouled. And it didn't look pretty. He got popped in the nose, lost the contact. We'll have to see what he's putting together over there. But almost like Haas gave him the ball a little too far out for the big guy.
How many 6'11" guys do you know that can run the floor, catch it in a bad spot, and have the ability to put the ball on the floor and even get a shot up or try to get a shot up on the play? Austin's very skilled. He's got good hands, and all of BYU's big guys can run the floor.
Well, you saw Dunn kind of popped him with his hand, reaching for the ball. And Nate's been hit a bunch of times in the nose this year by elbows that have been well documented on BYU TV. And there he took another shot to the head. Looks like he's all right. Free throw's good. Must be fine. 3 points for Nate Austin, 6'11" sophomore out of Alpine, Utah. One of the Lone Peak high school products of this BYU team. And there are more coming. Nick Emery, who signed with the Cougars, opened up his Mormon Church mission call this week to Frankfurt, Germany. Reports May 1st. And we wish him the best, and we'll test him on his German when he gets back in 2 years. Cusick is in, and Haas will go out. Haas with 15 points on 5 of 10 shooting, 4 rebounds. Really had some nice passes, and be remembered for feeding Davies for that monster dunk.
Unselfish play. We talked about sharing the ball, and BYU's done a good job of that, especially in transition in this game.
Calvert for 2. Colorado Player of the Year last year out of Parker. He'll leave on his church mission after the season. Dunn. This is Jacobs, and Dunn's been the scorer for NAU here in the second half. Austin on the block. They'll give him a goaltend.
That was close, but I think it was on its way down. And Austin helping out.
You be the judge here, Blaine.
Let's see, it's up, and yeah, I think that's probably a good call.
It's also a good call when it's 78-42. Crowd was like, yeah, okay. Cusick feeds Delgado. He's more comfortable shooting the three-pointer, so
I don't want it this close to the basket. I gotta take it out. Delgado in a game at Solid Community College had 12 threes in a game once.
Dunn with the steal and the finish. Good second half for Michael Dunn. He's got 11.
I should say Delgado at Western Nebraska Community College had 12 threes in one game.
You've seen him hit 3 tonight. Zeno's hit a couple. Cusick for 3. Rebound chased down by Austin. Delgado wants the ball. I think he feels a shot's coming. Ambrosino turns it over. Stolen away by Jacobson. Three-pointer for Rogers. And Rogers now just 1 of 13 from the field. 0 for 7 shooting threes.
And that's a shot. That's a wide open shot in transition that he usually makes, and he will make as the season progresses. And for some reason early this year, he's not knocking those down.
And as mentioned earlier, he's 4th all time in made three-pointers over his career. He's having an off night. Delgado.
That was a heat check one. The other ones were open. The other 3 were open shots. This time, that was a hotly contested 3.
Another bucket for Dunn. He's got 13. And that matches his season high. Lob for Austin. You know, Saldivar kept his footing and made that play just by being in position. Dunn for 3 and a foul and a chance at a 4-point play. And that takes us to a timeout. Michael Dunn now with a season high 16 points. And he'll be at the line looking for 17 after this timeout here on BYU TV.
Yeah, Dunn is the difference in the ballgame. In the second half, NAU shooting 44%. They shot just 30% in the first half, and that's because Dunn's been outstanding. He's 7 of 8 from the field, and 2 of 2 from the free throw line. So he's been very solid. Great performance by Michael Dunn.
10-0 run by the Lumberjacks. Austin will go back to the line. Fouled by Martin. That's the 3rd on Martin. And Nate continues to take a beating.
Team foul number 6 on the line for the Cougars. Number 33, Nate Austin, shooting 2.
It'll be interesting. We haven't seen Ian Harward tonight, and he's been playing, you know, less and less lately. He's got a back problem, and you know, I'm not quite sure what to do with it. Except the rest.
Yeah, sometimes that's all you can do, and they really need another big body when they get into conference play. So they hope that they can get him healthy.
Cusick is out. And Winder back. And it'll be interesting next year as they get a little more size in with their recruiting class. If they let Austin go be the 3rd guard almost. I think he kind of wants to be.
Well,
get out there and shoot threes.
I'll tell you where Austin is good. He can come to that high post, top of the key. And he's very good at feeding the post. They go high-low post. You get Davies down in the post, and got a nice touch of feeding the post from up there.
And you got to go guard him because he can hit the shot.
Yep. So
you put a big man on him, he can take that guy right out of the paint and make him go out there and defend you away from the basket. There's a kick by Austin.
I'm watching right now. Ambrosino down playing defense, playing the 4 spot right now. It's so important without Harward being able to play with back problems for Ambrosino to pick it up and be a guy that they can depend on to go and defend at the 4 or the 5 spot.
And you figure Kafusi would fit into that area as well if he can get into the rotation and provide some muscle, some rebounding, and he'll have 5 fouls to give, and none of them will be soft. Eager to see Kafusi back out there against Virginia. Well, kickoff next season.
Yeah, and Kafusi is 260 pounds, and BYU doesn't have anybody with that kind of bulk inside.
Calvert loses it. Ambrosino gets it back. Winder back to Calvert. Tapped out by Austin. Right to Dunn. Well, if I'm NAU, I'm running plays for Dunn. He's had a hot hand.
He's feeling it.
Saldivar looking down to Martin. Gets into a double team and outlets to Dunn. This time it's short. Might have been deflected by Delgado.
Delgado got a piece of that one.
Winder to Delgado.
Wow. What a beautiful pass that time by Winder. And how about Delgado? He gets a piece all the way in the corner of the basketball defensively, and then gets on, you know, his high horse and rides down the sideline as fast as he can to finish on the other end.
Season high for Delgado, 11 points. He kind of throws it down with some frustration.
That was a nasty throwdown right there.
Ambrosino for 3. foul on Austin as Saldivar chased down that rebound. Here's Winder, good court vision. Delgado at the other end.
It couldn't have been in a better spot. Just perfect pass by Ensign Winder. A great hustle play by Delgado on both ends of the floor.
Ian Harward in for the first time tonight as Austin will go out. Dunn comes out for the Lumberjacks. And he sits down after making 7 of 9 shots, 17 points. They've not been able to get Russell and Rogers going. Those two leading scorers on this squad. Rogers is 1 for 12. He's got 6. Russell has 9. Combined, they average 31 against the UNLVs, Arizonas, Oregons.
And I think BYU's length has really caused both of those guards problems when they've been able to penetrate